I didn't feel that's what it was just hearing her talk about that. It was great. So, my name is Chris Cannon. I'm an emergency physician at another hospital in town. I'm 38 years old. I played soccer and football in high school, played soccer at UAB, got way out of shape. Ended up breaking my back 4 years ago. I can tell you the real story, which is a father-son gymnastics class. I made up stories later, but that's the real story on trampoline. But just kind of got back, someone kind of dared me to go do the Evansville half, kind of got back into that, kind of both looking at Mal Davis, who's not here, but is kind of Mr. Ironman in the area. Goaded me to doing triathlons and trying to get better at that, and learn how to swim, which is a lot of work for me because I've never was a swimmer. So, yeah, I've done quite a few sprints and Olympics halves now. My first Ironman in 2012 this year, and I'll do another one in 2 years. Yeah, I think just what you were saying about come watch sometime, even better than that to me, come volunteer sometime. You can go online and pick what times you want to be there and volunteer. And volunteers are great. Get a cool shirt and be in the race. I mean, you're there. These volunteers are awesome. I mean, it's like you pull up in a bike aid station. It was like an Indy pig crew. I mean, it's like, what do you want? Water, water, wait, water. I was like, water, 1, 2, 1, 2, what do you want? I was like, 2, and then going in right over. So I mean, it was really like an Indy pig crew. So I would say if you're interested at all, you come watch sure that you volunteer, you're in the race. I mean, it's a huge deal. I think everyone who's volunteered is like it. So that's my story.
My name is David Shelton. I'm 20 years old, and right now I'm running off the front cycling studio. If anybody would like to ride indoors, it's really great. If you'd like to know about it, I can tell you later.
You can ride Kona at his place.
You can ride any race.
You can ride Louisville.
But beyond that, my background's in swimming. I swam basically growing up from when I was 5 till I was 10. Decided I liked cartoons a little better, so kind of got out of that. Ended up gaining a whole bunch of weight, and then decided, in high school that was the best way to go. So, joined up on the tennis team in high school. Got to college, got back into swimming. And then after college, the guy saw me at the pool and was like, "Hey, you should do a triathlon." I'm like, "No, I can't run, I don't have a bike, But he kept trying to get me to do it, so eventually I bought a bike and tried one. And I ended up getting third in my age group. And after that, I've been hooked. So I've been doing triathlon since then. That's back in 07. I've typically done, 7 to 10 sprint triathlons a year. And then in 09, I had a friend who did Ironman Louisville, and I got to go up and see part of it. And of course, like everybody else, once you see it, you're ready to do it. That day's like, okay, I know what I'm going to do. So I signed up, did Louisville in 2010, 2011. Made the mistake of trying to go under 10 hours, because my goal was to try to make it to Kona. And in my age group, I had to go under 10 hours for it. Yeah, so I paid for that when I tried to push on the bike, and but got them both done, and still live to tell the tale. So, yeah. So hopefully I'll go back and actually complete that goal. Unlike everybody else, I've had a different experience with it, where for me it was a race instead of it's just having fun getting it done. And that's definitely one thing I would change about it. Make sure you have fun with it. If you're going to do the race, have fun with the training, get with a group of people, enjoy it.
My name is Hallie Denstorf, and I'm 27. I'm a teacher at Holy Rosary. That definitely helped my training. I get off work at 3 o'clock. So I'd work out before school, and I'd work out at 3 o'clock. And I chose to not work this past summer, and I trained all summer long, every day. Up until that point, in high school I swam and played golf. In college I started a swim team. Other than that, that was like the extent of my working out. I hated running. In 2007, my sister and I we were like, hey, let's do a triathlon. It was literally the week before the YMCA little old bluegrass one. We didn't have bikes. I think we had like grass cutting shoes to run in. And so we did it, and we had like, we remember showing up, and these people like have like these really awesome helmets, and we're like, whoa, we are way out of our league. Turns out now we are those people. But so that was our first triathlon. So we've done a couple sprints, and then I was like, oh, that's too easy. I want to do something that more people can't do. So I decided to do an Olympic up in Chicago, and that was super fun. And I felt great afterwards. So I was like, hey, I'm going to do the half Ironman. Of course, everyone thinks I'm stupid. So I train, I go up to Wisconsin, I do it. I cut like an hour off my projected time. No, I say that, I'm not fast at anything I do, I promise. Once I tell you my times and everything. But I felt great. I mean, I didn't have a sore muscle, I didn't have a blister. I got back in the car and drove 7 hours home. I mean, it was fine. So that summer I did that, and then Jeff was racing at Louisville. Jeff, over here in the front row, and then my friend Jimmy. And so I went over to Louisville to watch them race, and I was in a kayak at the very beginning of the swim, and I saw them go by, all these people, and I was like, oh no, I'm gonna do this. So I called my sister at like 7 o'clock in the morning. I was like, yeah, this is awesome. I cannot believe we're missing this. Stayed the whole day, watched it. I was so pumped. Next morning, I called my sister at 5 o'clock when I was driving back to go to work, and I said, yeah, I'm going to have to do this. So I need to know that you're going to support me in this. She's like, yep, I'll do it. I'm going to support you. Like an hour later, she calls back. She's like, I'm going to do it too. I'm like, Mom is going to have a cow. There's only 2 of us. She is not going to like this. So I called Mom. We actually signed up, like, Louisville finished on a Sunday, and open registration was on that, like, the Monday at noon. Well, I was like, Jenna, we have to sign up. These Ironman events, they like sell out. Like, they sell out like hours. She's like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah. So we signed up at like 12:30 that day. Yeah, Louisville doesn't really fill up. But I told her that. You know, like they all said, I picked Louisville because my family, they could be there. I also wanted to train on the course. I went over to Louisville multiple times and trained in the river there and the bike course. Again, I had a ton, my sister and I had a ton of support over in Louisville. Steve is wearing our little shirt that we made. Yeah, I would definitely, if we're going to do it, the Tri team was wonderful. They did so many things this summer to help us prepare. And unlike David, I knew that I wasn't going to win anything, so I had to just focus on finishing. I didn't care about a time, I just wanted to finish and have a good time. And I had a great time, and everyone's like, when are you going to do it again? And I'm going to do it again when I get some more money. Because that was, and I'm not going to lie, that was the biggest surprise. And maybe I just spent my money the wrong way, I don't know, but I spent a ton of money. And I'm like, where did all this go? So anyways, whenever I get some more money, then I'll do it again.
I'm Cliff Durnburn, and everyone here did Ironman Louisville. I did a different one because I had to work that day, so I couldn't get off. So I did Sort by Revolution 3, the same distance, but up in Cedar Point, and I'm 31. Yeah. Back in high school, though, it seems like everyone talks about their high school athletic careers. I was not a runner. I did the cross-country team for 1 year, and I was like, this is terrible. I just quit. I was like, I'm not designed to be a runner. So, but I got here to Evansville, did a couple half marathons, and I was like, there's no way I'm doing a marathon. I could not turn around now and do that same course again. And so that's why I like triathlon so much. I was doing sprints, you know, I was living it up, and I always kind of saw the Ironman out there, and it was like the pinnacle. I was like, I want to do that. And so 1 year I decided to do the half Ironman, and I did it all wrong. I trained for like less than a month, and then I went there. I think I drank about this much water during the entire race, not to mention all the lake water. And then I probably had like a goo the entire time. I was like, so I got done, and I felt like crap for a week. I mean, little known fact, like if you don't drink enough water, your body quits putting enough tears in your eyes, and your eyes hurt for a week. So, I'm not willing to learn from my mistakes. I signed up for the Ironman. Like a month later, I was like, I gotta get better than this. So, but I work at Alcoa, and I was working a swing shift at the time, so I was working 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. were 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. So I had nobody to train with because no one else has that crazy schedule. And training was super difficult as well. I'd get off at 5:30 in the morning, I'd go bike 60 miles, go to bed, wake up, go to work, and that was my summer. It was terrible.
Totally worth it, though.
Yeah, it was totally worth it, yeah, guys, it was great. But, so I did the Ironman, and I was great. For me, it's sped by. I mean, I was just going on the bike, just chugging along. Next thing you know, you're down for the run. And my parents came up there to watch me, and next thing you know, you're done. It's over with. I just look back and just a great all-around experience. I recommend it to anybody.
Cliff, tell your time.
Yeah.
I have 11 hours and 2 minutes.
Now, that's why I went so fast.
Right. Right.
Yes.
I am not.
So a lot of things went right that day compared to my half Ironman.
My name's Tony Meyer. I work for a company called Direct Fitness Solutions, and then I have a little small race production company that we just started this past year called Rise Up and Run Race Production. So hopefully, if you do any local races, you'll see us around a little bit. But kind of always been in the fitness, health and fitness industry. So I think probably 6 or 7 years ago, the way I worked out changed. I didn't get under heavy weight I ate anymore and those types of things, and started to kind of focus more on endurance type stuff. And I really felt like that did a lot of things for me mentally. Of course, physically it does, but just kind of sorting out things when you're on the road, on the bike, in the pool, whatever it might be. And I just really love it. I still do. It's a big part of my life. And I had a great support system, my wife and my son, who thinks that I'm certifiable probably. He does think that I'm a bit crazy, but I really enjoyed just the adrenaline rush that you get from it. And then I really enjoy a lot of the training that, I don't do in groups, that I do just out there by myself. And, you can kind of get inside yourself a little bit and kind of sort things out, whatever the business, home life, whatever it is. It's a little peaceful time away. So my Ironman experience, I've done some halves and I've done the full Ironman, but my Ironman experience, my first Ironman.
Station elopement.
That's not for us.
Blue Road, approximately 5'8".
He's not in here.
He's one to come sign up for an Ironman.
There you go. But my first one, I kind of went overboard on the training. I had a training schedule, and I did not miss a workout. I didn't, no matter how I felt, I did the workouts. And probably since that time, the advice that I have given to people that have taken on Ironmans or half Ironmans or even Olympic distance tries is when your body says, hey, I need a break, give it a break, because I got extremely ill and the night before Ironman, hacking, coughing, damn near dying, and took a couple of shots of NyQuil before Ironman, and yeah, it's a good night's rest. And felt like hell when I got up the next morning, but did the event, and crossed the finish line, and it was great for about, what do we say, T? 35, 40 seconds, and then I hit the ground. They took me into medical, and what they said about the Ironman staff and volunteers, they're awesome, absolutely awesome. But the best thing about it was the 2 IV bags I got were great because I didn't feel any pain the next day. Actually, I felt like $1,000,000. I had no cold anymore or nothing. It was all flushed out. So take a pass out if you want it.
I would agree with that. Just look, say you're dizzy, say you're not hit.
Just say your legs.
Because I got an IV and I felt great. I would want running again on Tuesday after Ironman, so I felt great. My sister was cramping up all night, but I felt great. So.
Who up here got an IV back after their Ironman? Raise your hand. 2?
Yeah, I got 1.5.
Okay.